You are tuned in to another edition of Americana Music Profiles, brought to you by Americana Rhythm Music Magazine and AmericanaMusicMagazine.com. I'm your host, Greg Tutwiler. Let's jump right in to the next exciting interview. For the Trinity River Band's latest album, Unbroken, the Harris family break out of the stereotypical norms a bit and explore some new horizons with their music. Additionally, they're working with some great songwriters on this record, including Donna Ulisse, Mark Brinkman, Jim Hurst, and others. Nearly the whole band joins me for this edition of Americana Music Profiles as we talk about their life on the road and their new music. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the podcast this afternoon.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for having me. I got most of the crew here.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Howdy.
Hey, guys. Sounds
Hi,
like
Greg.
got everybody there, and we were talking a couple minutes ago. You guys are hanging out in Idaho, right?
That's
right.
Yeah.
We're out west right now.
Yeah. Playing and vacationing at the same time, right?
Yes, working vacation.
There you go.
So that's kind of how every tour is, though.
Yeah, well, that's good, though. That's life on the road. If you're enjoying it, it's kind of a...
Absolutely.
You get to play a little, or work a little, and play a lot.
Yes.
So, you guys have got a new record out we want to talk about in a few minutes, but just for the sake of the folks that maybe don't know who you guys are yet, if we can kind of dial it back just a little bit and talk about how Trinity River Band came to be. I know, if I remember correctly, you guys weren't always Trinity River Band either, right?
That's right. We started out years ago. I had never even played an instrument till I was probably 12 or 13, picked up the guitar. I'm the oldest of the siblings, so I'm Sarah, and I play the mandolin now. My brother Josh, he's on here. He plays the banjo and the dobro. And our sister, who's not here at the moment, she's our fiddle player, and she's 16. And then we have our parents, Dad Mike on guitar, and our mom Lisa on bass. So it started out as a really just bonding time for our family, really. Music was something that we all loved so much, and we did that together starting out, and it was really just for us. It was we loved it, we loved each other, and it was just something, really fun to do. And so it went on from there, that the doors just kept getting opened up and people kept asking us to come play, and we had to make that decision from, okay, do we want to stay part-time or go full-time? And we dove in head first, and we haven't looked back. So whenever we did make that transition to full-time, this is all we do all year long, is travel and perform and just play all over this beautiful country. We changed our name from the Harris family at that point to Trinity River Band. So for several different reasons, but we wanted to, distinguish ourselves from a lot of there's so many family bands in bluegrass, which is great because that's what that music really, that's one of the foundations of it, I believe, is families. So since there were so many, we wanted something, a little more unique. So Trinity River Band.
And you guys changed how long were you the Harris family band, and then when did you change to Trinity River?
Oh, goodness. Josh, do you remember?
2 years, yeah, because we started out playing our first ever kind of thing was 2007 in our home church, but even then it was just like, special music, so. Yeah. We didn't actually start playing around until closer to 2009 or so.
That's when it got real.
Yeah, that's when it got real. That's when we first recorded our album that we don't sell anymore. You're welcome. And I think in 2011 is when we made the band name change. So 2 or 3 years is how long we were the Harris family. Yeah. We made just the first album. Okay. I think. And then we changed that. When we changed the band name, we redesigned the cover so we could have everything under Trinity River Band.
And that's incidentally when we went full-time, too.
Yeah.
2011.
2011 is also when we went full-time, yeah.
And, Mike, that was you. So you guys had to kind of really consider giving up what you were doing for a full-time career to do this, right?
We did. I had been running my own construction company And in 2008, we took a real hit with that. So we were still somewhat kind of struggling with that.
Yeah.
And it was not as hard for me because I was ready to put that behind me anyway. But
Yeah.
Lisa had been a school teacher for umpteen dozen years,
Wow.
22 years.
Okay.
And that was the big part of the equation right there is, her job security and all that. But, we sat down with what were then the kids. Now they're these lovely young adults.
Yeah, we were itty bitty little babies.
Yeah.
They made a very strong and deep commitment that they've stuck through.
Yeah.
I'll add this right now too. It's the one thing that we heard as a family band that it's going to break up, but not us. I mean, the ones that are going to leave are not going to be the kids. The ones that will eventually step aside and retire are me and Lisa.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you guys and we have and I will, for the folks listening, I'll reference the issue. I don't remember the number now, but we talked about this a couple years ago. We did a cover story with you guys, and you guys have you talked then about the commitment and working together as a family band, and I remember, Sara, you telling me how well you guys get along and how much it's meant to you as a family to be able to spend this time together.
Right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's special. Nobody really gets the privilege to know how long you do have in this life. And, so every performance, every tour, every album that we make, the time that we spend together is special for that reason, because it's all, we don't know how much time we're going to get, so we don't want to take it for granted at all.
Yeah. And I know it shows up in your music, and then one of the things I appreciate about the bluegrass industry, but certainly you guys specifically, is that faith is a real important piece too, and I love the way that shows up in your music and in the songs that you guys record.
Well, thank you, Greg. We appreciate that. That's probably something that we get commented on, maybe even more than our music is. That's what people wonder what shows through, and that's what we point to. That's absolutely, that's the rock.
Yeah.
It's definitely the core of who we are, for sure.
That's awesome. You guys have written, or maybe you haven't, I presume that you've written a lot of the songs that you've recorded over the years. All of you, right?
Well, I mean, all of us have had, I think, except for Brianna, but we haven't recorded one of her songs yet, but all of us are songwriters. I mean, even Mom, she's, we did a Christmas album. Mom wrote the title cut to that, and, Dad's been an amazing songwriter.
Since he was a wee lad.
Since we were, even before we were even born.
Yeah.
Josh writes these crazy, awesome instrumentals, and so he helps me write too. Like I bounce a lot of my ideas off of him, and so he's
doesn't really ever take any of my suggestions, but she counts
Oh, that's how you get co-writing, Chris.
He's like, well, this is a good idea, but I would have completely different direction. So
where I ended up,
Yeah.
But we do, and if we don't write it, we try to do a cover song that we make our own. But we do a lot of originals, whether they're by us or by songwriting friends of ours.
Sure.
Who we're just, it's so cool. We know so many great, talented and, award-winning songwriters that it's just this, and this new album is just, oh gosh, it's full of them. And we're very, very lucky and blessed to have them as friends and to have gotten these songs, for the album Unbroken.
Yeah, and that's it's a good transition point. You guys we're obviously in the bluegrass industry, and you've had several top 20 hits, a couple of number one songs, and I think, Sara, maybe you've gotten a couple awards, or maybe the band has won a couple awards. But at some point, you kind of felt like maybe you wanted to shift the flavor of the music a little bit. Tell me about that.
Mm-hmm.
So to speak, yeah, that was the perfect way of putting it. We love so many different types of music. Bluegrass was, like I said, it's so family oriented and family friendly that was the most ready genre that we all got into together. and we fell in love with it. We love to say we got bit by the bluegrass bug, and just there it went. Year after year. But recently we've just kind of been branching out, just experimenting a little bit. And I think to be a true artist, that's what you do. You experiment. Sure. You find what is you as an artist. What does that sound like? And you, of course, you want it to be unlike anybody else, unmistakable. We think that our strong suits are really vocals. Mm-hmm. And Josh, I see you want to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, to Sarah's point about an artist's sound, that's something that I think as people grow, your sound, the music that you make, never stops growing either.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
And so, while 12 years ago when we first started out, just straight bluegrass was, that was kind of our sound at the time. Like Sarah, it kind of expands and grows as you grow.
Because music,
music
it doesn't stay stagnant.
Yeah, it doesn't stay still.
Right.
As nothing does.
If it does, it dies.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a sad truth about anything, really, not just music. But if something's not progressing, if it's not moving forward, if it's not changing, if it's not adapting, then it ceases to exist at some point. So we don't want to quit making music. So just trying to be true to ourselves in the purest form possible. So Josh is so talented. I don't think any of us would argue that he is world class on any instrument he plays, and he is really.
I might argue that.
But recently, he can play keyboard and bass as well as banjo, dobro. Those are his main instruments that people see him play, but he really can do it all. And Brianna really is undersold as a violin player too. She's just really grown into her own, so we're very, very proud of her for that. But it's this new album is definitely a new direction. Not too crazy, but it's got bluegrass, but it's got some of where we want to go.
And the new record is called Unbroken, and we were talking a little bit ago about you guys working with songwriters outside the band, and you've got some pretty big names on this one with Donna Ulisse, of course, who's Songwriter of the Year a couple times, and Jim Hurst and Larry Cordell and Jerry Salley. Sounds like you got a bunch of folks on there.
Right. Mark Brinkman. It's just the list goes on.
That's crazy.
Very
Susie Ragsdale too.
Oh yeah.
Actually, do you know who that is, Greg?
I do not. I recognize the name, but I don't think I've heard any of her material.
Susie Ragsdale is actually Ray Stevens' daughter.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So,
yeah.
So, she's got the songwriting gene for sure.
Sure, yeah, and of course, she wrote the song "Unbroken," which is the title cut for the record.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how did you come about choosing these 10 songs? With that many different writers involved, one would think that you had a bunch to choose from to come down to this list.
We did.
Always do. It is such a long and tedious process. We're very picky. All of us, we like and we gravitate towards different, styles, different types of songs. Dad's a really great storyteller, not just as a songwriter, but as a singer. He, like in the song Lucius Gray, written by Mark Brinkman, his voice just it sells the story of that song. So, that was one he gravitated towards. We love that redeeming story that Lucius Gray is about. Unbroken, most of them are unanimous, though. The things that we tend to put on our records are songs that all of us love.
One, kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
it's like we hold a vote. It's the Harris Family Supreme Court.
It's pretty cool. We try to make it a democracy.
Yeah.
But Unbroken, the Donna Ulisse songs, she had emailed those to me. Along with, I've never heard of, anything but great songs from her. So it was really difficult to kind of narrow it down, but I let them hear, once I had gone through them, I let them hear my favorites, and, everybody was in tears at Different for the Dying. and then she cried. It was really cool